was born at the Fontana Kaiser Hospital.
Mhm.
My birthday is March 23, 1945. How have you lived your life? Oh, that's a big question. Okay.
Get busy.
Yeah. My religion is a big part of my life. I'm LDS or Mormon, born into an LDS family from pioneer stock who goes way back. And that has really been the focus of all of the way I was reared. My childhood days, my friends, the activities that I had, most of them were centered around my church. I had friends at school. A couple of my friends over the years wound up joining the church as well. That was a nice little icing on the cake that happened. School was also very important to me. It was very important for me to get as good grades as I could. In fact, the friends that I picked were ones who felt that way also. When I was in high school, my family moved to Upland just before I went to junior high. So I went to Upland Junior High and Upland High School. And I was in a group that was a special, I can't remember what the project was called, but we were taken from our junior high, the classes and the grades that we got, and we were put together to just see how we would do in a group of kids that really wanted to achieve, and grades were important to them. And so I was with the same students for all 4 years of high school in all of our classes, which made it very, very nice because all of us wanted to achieve and we were all trying to do the best we could. We had the best of teachers, and I had a very good high school year. And then high school years. Then try to make this quick, but then and Jetty and I met through a church, what they call seminary, where we met every morning before going to high school and had a class in religion, and then we would go on to high school. He went to Chaffey High School and I went to Upland, but we met in that building for the classes. And then we started dating. We were 16, and we went to, when Chaffey College was a junior college, we went there 1 year, and then he went on his mission to Argentina, an LDS mission, and then I went to Brigham University. When he got back from his mission, he came to Brigham University. I graduated first. Actually, I graduated while he was on his mission, and then we spent 2 years. We got married the first semester of my graduate work, and then 2 years later, he graduated, and we were pregnant with our first child and came back to Ontario again, basically. We've been in this house for over 40 years.
Wow,
Okay,
that's a long time.
that's kind of a summary of my life. Now, give us something, then I'll look at this next question.
All right. But yeah, take your time. Like,
Okay.
I was born in Monterey Park, April 26, 1945, and I basically worked and worked and worked and worked.
wow.
I was an officer in the Navy. I was a janitor at Plotz Nursing Home.
Wow.
I used to show the LA Times in the morning, go to work at 2 o'clock, fill the newspapers. When we bought this house, it was 2 bedrooms, 1 bath,
Just this.
and Kelsey drew the plans, and I built 2 more bedrooms and a bath and a laundry room and a family room.
Wow.
Took me a year, but come home from work, change my clothes, get up my hammer and saw, and go to work.
Wow.
We had some friends that would come on vacation and help us too. Mostly church friends would come and help us.
Something about growing old. I did the same work at the bank for 40 years.
Then he went into banking.
And then one day at work, I couldn't remember how to do it.
Wow.
I'd look at the papers, I'd look at the stuff, and I'd go, what's all this?
But he did a really, really good job
So,
previously. I mean, whenever we got a promotion or a higher grade of salary, it was because another bank wanted him, and they recruited him, and he went to a different bank and got a higher salary, and it was all very lovely
I taught
until he
myself
couldn't remember anything. No.
how to program computers, and I wrote programs for the banks. My kids all learned how to use computers because we converted the garage into a computer room, and they went out there and did their homework and played games
Wow.
and stuff.
Nice.
How do you feel about being an adult? Well, it's fun sometimes, but it's no fun when there's no kids around.
We had 6 children, and actually homework was a big part of my interaction with my kids. That was the thing that we did. And the next thing was friends. They had their friends over here. We made this home as best we could for them to play games and do things together, video games, board games, whatever, and they would let me play with them. So we have
Those
friends.
2 hooks
We
used
had
to
a big
hold up
screen.
a 10-foot screen,
Uh,
and they played video games on a
On a
10-foot
big
screen.
nice.
So we tried to do that. That and food kept them at home and kept their friends coming. And then we always knew where they were and what they were doing, and so we all enjoyed those years together. I very much enjoyed my children when they were teenagers. It was very, very nice.
It's really sad when they're all gone.
Yeah.
And you come home
No
and
noise.
no noise, no
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
But we have the grandkids, and the families come over, 4 of them. 4 of our children live close enough that we can go visit them, or they come and visit us. 2 of them live in Utah, and occasionally they will come down and visit.
The challenge of getting old is pain.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
just, there's all kinds of pains that come. And you go to the doctor and they say, it's okay, you're all right. No, they're not.
yeah, they really. It
And then-
is strange.
And then they give you a pill. My grandson was looking at, when they give you a pill, they tell you all the symptoms
yes.
from it. Stroke, heart attack, stomach pains.
Oh.
And this is just ibuprofen.
Yeah.
It's on a higher dosage of ibuprofen.
So that's not the good part. Well, I'm not going to tell you what I regret.
So you don't regret anything in your life?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you wouldn't want to
yeah.
go back?
Yeah, there's mistakes that I made and things I shouldn't have done that I did. But
I
you have to wait till the next life to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed getting older just because I learned more, and I could then base what I had learned in school on real life and had opportunities like that. One regret that I have, when I was at BYU, I took a couple of drama classes. and-
Drama's kind of
Handsome guy
fun.
She should have married.
Yeah, no, that's not the regret. Although I did have a few ask me, but anyway, while he was on his mission, I wasn't there. But I waited for him nonetheless, because I knew I had a good thing. Anyway, I took a drama class, and in my first year of doing graduate work, some of the kids were telling me that these classes are really, really hard, this one in particular. And so don't do anything else but these couple of classes. You can't do anything else. So I didn't, and I went to a play that my drama class instructor was putting on. And as I was watching it, I just knew this one part. I was supposed to be that. I just followed her through all the sequences. It was based on the Book of Mormon, or so it was a religious play. And I went back behind the scenes afterward and talked to the kids, and one of them, because a couple of them were in my class, and one of them said, the director at tryouts asked, where were you? Because he wanted you for that part. That was one of my regrets, because I could have done it. That class was not that difficult. I could have gone to all of the tryout and all the rehearsals. I've been in a couple of community plays here in Ontario. I was in another play at BYU. I could have done it, but that's a regret. I wish I had been in that play.
I could have been a contender.
Yeah. Marlon Brando, but anyway, no.
Okay, future. Well, there's not a lot of future left when you're as old as I am.
We're both 72 now.
So
No, you're still young.
what I'm
Yeah, it's still considered young.
what I'm trying to accomplish right now is to make sure that there's a place for Delcy when I'm gone. And so we just helped our youngest son Joshua. Did you know Joshua?
Yeah.
He just bought a house that has a 5th bedroom with a bath. So when I'm gone, she can live with Joshua.
That's
or
awesome.
we helped our daughter Tandy
In Utah.
finish her basement. So there's a bedroom and a bathroom and a living area.
Yeah.
So she can have her choice, or she can move back and forth, or whatever. But I'm convinced I'm going to go before her, because if she goes first, I'm going to wreck.
Anyway, we will see. We will see. Like you were saying, yes, the disadvantages are crippling, actually. Things take a lot longer to heal. I've got this big thing that should have only been a scrape, but because of my thin skin, it tore skin down, and I had to push it back up, and now it's healing weird and taking a long time. And I have arthritic knees, and so it's difficult for me to walk. I don't really have any other pains, so to speak. Jenny has more of those things, but this is the worst. My knees getting crippling, and I don't. My doctors advised me that I should get the surgery to have the knee replacement surgery. A couple of my friends have had that and are glad that they did, but one of my friends who had the surgery, I visited her 2 days after she had the surgery, and she was happy, excited, and recuperating, and then 2 days after that she died. And what
A blood clot.
it was a blood clot that they didn't catch or couldn't. I don't know what happened, but it scared me. And I'm thinking, oh, now I don't know if I want to do that. I've been to the class. It tells you how, what it looks like, and all that stuff. And it's, oh gosh, the surgery is just, you can't even believe it.
So I bought her a wheelchair, and when I take her to the courts, I put her in the chair and I push her around.
I have a part-time job that I've had for over 24 years now, where I go to the courts in the local areas and I look for petitions of probate. And the company that I work for is looking for particular things that are missing in the petition. And I tell them, I share with them the ones I have found, and then if they talk to the family and they do some research and find, mostly it's to find missing heirs, people who really deserve the money but they don't know where they are. If the money isn't, if someone is not found, a relative, then the money is what they call S-cheats to the state, so the state of California gets that money. So I think it's better that the family gets it. And so it's been a nice part-time job for me. It's helped with weddings and missions. My sons have gone on church missions, and our daughter, so it's helped with extra money like that. But now that it is difficult for me to walk, Jetty just a couple of 3 weeks ago, maybe a month, more longer than that, maybe it's a couple months anyway, he asked me if I wanted to have one of these little wheelchair things, and I said, oh no, I'd be too embarrassed. Well, then the next day, there's this big box on the porch. He ordered one, and it does help because it hurts to walk on my knees. It hurts, and so that keeps me off my knees. And there are ramps up to the courthouses. So, and then the people that I work with, or not work with, but there are other people who go there regularly to the courts, and so I've made friends that way. And they are all very understanding and helpful to me, and as are the clerks and stuff. And so it hasn't been as embarrassing as I thought it would be, and it does save my knees. What I'm looking forward now is just to being more with my children and their children. We enjoy times with them. It's very rare that we're all together, especially because of being in 2 different states. But and I still want to do things in my church. Right now, I'm teaching the 7-year-old class in what we call primary. it's on Sunday right after a sacrament meeting. We have this meeting. Well, we divide up. The youth go somewhere, the young kids and the adults anyway. And I teach the 7-year-olds. And that's been very, very enjoyable for me for a number of reasons. They are learning how to read and they love to read, and so they can help me with the lesson. In fact, I've got pieces of it for next Sunday here because I cut up the stories so that they can read the stories. And it's the year that they turn 8 and want to be baptized. So that's been an extra little plus for me to get to go to their baptisms. So I'm very much enjoying that.
I have to tell you one thing about our church. The church teaches us to pay our tithing, which is 10% of what you earn. And so we've done that all of our life. When I retired, we had my Social Security, Desi's Social Security, and the income from her job. And then one day I get a letter in the mail. One of my banks had prepaid for a retirement account for me.
An annuity.
An annuity that I get until I die, and then Dulcie gets it until she dies.
We had no idea.
I never knew.
We thought it was a joke. You have just one,
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
In the Old Testament it says that the Lord will open up the windows of heaven, and he did.
It's been nice, and it's been a way of us helping our children now and seeing what our inheritance will do for them. I'd much rather see them now than anyway. So it's been nice that way. Do you ever think about the past or your change? Okay, I'll tell you my regret.
When we bought this house, we paid $15,000 for it.
15.
15.
15.
And the monthly payment was $133.
Mm.
It was it's all we could afford. But it's been the best investment we've made.
And with the spaces, we have refinanced, so the payment isn't that small now, but it's been the best investment because it's worth far more than that
So
now.
the first chance you get, buy a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Jenny majored in business at BYU. He got his degree in business. I didn't finish my master's degree. I did a lot of the classes. I did a little bit of a thesis thing, a little bit of a project. I majored in psychology, and I minored in child development because I thought this would help me as a mother. That was always been my goal in life, is to be a mother and be able to do it well. And that was my classes that I took. And because I saw the look on the faces of my fellow students who had to go through that grueling session to try to get their master's degree, and I thought, oh, no, I really don't want to do this. So I'll just learn it. So I'll have the information, but I didn't want to do anything more than that. So, excuse me, I don't have any aspirations for doing anything with my degree, except hopefully that helps me as a parent. For the future, just continue. I don't suppose that I'm going to be doing this part-time job for too much longer. It's getting a little bit hard on this.
Summers are too hard.
Yes.
Because it'll be 25 years next May, and that sounds like a good number. That might be when I would correct. But I still was qualified to get Social Security, so we have that benefit.
So what are your goals?
Well, I still haven't really figured it out, but for now I'm just kind of going for associate's degree or bachelor's for the career that I pretty much want.
Yeah, it's always good to get an education.
Yes, it's
The education doesn't always guarantee you a good job.
Yeah.
yes.
That's how I ended up working as a janitor at Plotz.
Well,
I had a good job.
Yeah.
And one day,
he lost it for a little
Then
while.
later, as the years go, people are mostly gonna have to go to college instead of going, because like later on, like jobs are gonna ask for people that have college degrees instead of high school degrees.
Oh yeah, it was much easier for him to get a job with a business degree, and I didn't ever really want a job. I was glad that his income was enough that I could stay at home with the children. So I, PTA presidents and project and stuff, so I did a lot of things at the school. So that was all very good. But when this part-time job came up for me, that I didn't have to spend a lot of time, and even I could take Josh with me during summer when he wasn't in school. The other children were a bit older, so it didn't bother them so much to stay at home. So that worked out to get a little bit of extra income. But it's very difficult to do that these days, to be a stay-at-home mom. It's just really, they've made it so difficult out there that usually it takes two incomes to keep the family going, which I think is sad. But it started in World War II when they started hiring women, and which was fine. Yes, we needed to have them.
Yes, that was pretty much kind of like a good time for women to have to get jobs that men could pretty much do, but it's kind of also.
But at the same time, it showed the workforce that we can get women for less money. And
What's that movie about the three black guys and the massive?
oh yeah, the Hidden Figures.
You have to see that movie.
Okay.
It's called
Yeah.
Hidden Figures. It's the story of three black women working for NASA to try to get a rocket ship to the moon.
Oh,
Those ladies were just smarter than I ever
Oh, yeah.
thought
Oh,
of.
yeah?
It's nothing
Yes.
against women are capable for most jobs. I wouldn't recommend anything hard labor. I really wouldn't recommend the military because I think the male physique is much better for that. I think their mindset is better because they have this feeling of wanting to protect and provide. And usually a woman's feeling is to nurture and to take care of. And you need both of those to have for the children. The father needs to be able to go out and provide and protect, and the mother to be at home and nurture. And they can learn each other's roles very easily, but it works best when they have their own roles. But once the workforce knew that they could have women, then when the men came home, what they did is they halved the salary so that they could make them both work. They figured, we don't have to pay them as much now because both of them are going to have to work. And that's how we get into this disparity of the working thing. I think it's good. Equal pay for equal jobs, that is true. I think that's a good motto. But I don't really think that a female body or mindset is as adept at doing military and hard work. A lot of them can, but I don't think they're quite. So if they can't do that physical work, then they don't need to be paid as much as men who are doing that physical work, So anyway, that's just my little philosophy about things.
that's good.
Okay.
Is that enough?
Do you have enough to fill a book?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to ask?
No, that's pretty much it. And I never really got your names for this.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Neil Churchill.
Delcie. Delcie Churchill.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And thanks for your time to pretty much tell me about your life and
Okay.
how aging has affected pretty much your life or how it's been pretty much good for your life.
Okay.
Thank you.